Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Bright and sunshiny Winnipeg. We had a nice sunrise this morning. Plain but nice. And before I forget to mention it, one of the viewers was mentioning how he thought that this wire that was running along the side of the cable, there's a what I believe is a copper wire. It looks like copper anyway. In order that when they go along with their metal detector to detect where this thing is running in the yard, because a couple of years from now you're not going to be able to see where they actually dug the trench. So they're going to go along with a metal detector. They actually did that all over the place here to see where other lines were that they didn't want to cut off. So the idea is that the metal detector will have some metal to detect, because all of the parts inside this thing, all the components, are of a type of plastic. So and even the glass is. I don't think there's any kind of detector that will detect glass. But of course the copper wire, it will. Anyway, I beat this to death. So I just thought I'd mention that before I forgot. I went in the backyard this morning and I looked at where they'd gone around behind the house and where they'd come up beside the foundation. And they've got probably, I'm guessing, it looks like about 10-15 meters of a coil of this stuff, and it's all sort of coiled up in a diameter about this big. I don't think you can bend this stuff really, really tight. The idea is if you bend it too tight, like for instance, I've got fiber optic cable running from my surveillance PVR in the computer room to this monitor. And the reason I had to go with fiber optic is because the regular metal cable, HDMI cable, it wouldn't handle it. But the fiber optic's no problem. So I'm kind of a little bit familiar with the advantages of fiber optic. And on my old stereo system over there, there's a fiber optic input for running things back and forth. Apparently it's better than a wire. I'm not quite sure I can understand how that works, but like how a light shining in one end of this can transmit miles, and come out the other end and still be visible. That's incredible. Anyway, I'm beating something to death that really isn't important. Today, being pizza day, we're going to have to talk about the pizza later, and today's episode might be a little bit different, a little bit shorter. Well, on the other hand, if I keep talking, it's not going to be short, is it? But I've been invited out for supper to my daughter's house this evening, so I'm going to be wanting to wind her up a little bit early. And now, we did turn the page yesterday, and we are now on step 34. Can you see that? Okay, now you can see the 34. Sometimes I forget what you can see and what you can't. And I'll be talking about something that's out of the field of view, and you're probably thinking, that stupid old man. Yeah, speaking of problems, I did notice a definite improvement on yesterday's video upload compared with the several days before. And even though it is pretty much exactly 3 times as wordy, you might say, in other words, there's more megabytes in the video, 3 times as many. And it took 3 times longer to upload to YouTube yesterday's video than it normally would have. However, I mean, what's the difference if it takes 3 minutes or if it takes 12 minutes? It doesn't make that much difference. It still uploads fine, but there was an improvement. I could see it. The color was better. It was smoother. There was less noise in the background and in objects that don't move, or move very little. And anyway, yeah, and here I was blaming YouTube, and it was actually me. But I went to take a close up of this, and I was going to do it in 8K. And I forget exactly what I was going to do, but I set my camera there to 8K and everything at its absolute best, and I start videoing. And then later, when I go to process the video, about 10 seconds into the process, my computer freezes up, and I start getting error messages, and I have to close the program down. Now, what I'm thinking it probably is just recently, DaVinci came out with their DaVinci 18, and it just came out of beta. So I thought, okay, it's out of beta, and they were advertising how it's safe to upload now, and so on. So I switched from 17 to 18. Now I know that my 8K settings were working just fine in 17, so I'm probably going to have to delete 18, reinstall 17, and go through that rigmarole again. And now, I don't do 8K every day, as you know. In fact, I think the last time I put out an 8K video was, I forget what it was about. I did check yesterday, but it was several weeks ago. I just want to be able to do it. Okay, let's, maybe we should roll back and see how it is we got to step 34. Okay, so I'm continuing on here this afternoon, and put down a few more mushroom vents, and I get to what is called F39, and it's supposed to go right here, and I can't find it in all my mushroom vents. So I checked the F sprue, and it turns out that the F39s are still on. There's two of them. So what I'm going to do is, where's my nippers? I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly paint them. And I know I sprayed all these others, so I'm going to have to do this one by, with a brush. I'm going to take one of Gabe's. Ah, perfect fit. Perfect fit. Now I can just put it in here, and yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim these two up, and then I can continue on. The only reason I'm telling you about it is because it's kind of interesting, something slightly different from the regular routine here. Okay, I did the two F39s here, and while I'm waiting for them to dry, I start dropping down more mushroom vents, and put down a G5 here. We got lots of G5s, and then I move over to the other side thinking it's going to be a G5, but it's not. It's an F25. Well, there is no F25, so I check back on the F sprue again, and here it turns out there is 20 of these on the F sprue. Then I'm noticing over here there's 10 F41s. So I go a little bit further ahead, and I find that we need 41s very shortly. There's a couple here, looks like 3 here. So, it's kind of funny. About 2 months ago when I sprayed all of these, I thought I had all of the mushroom vents. I don't know how I missed these. Maybe I didn't go far enough ahead in the manual. Maybe that was the problem. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to paint these on the sprue, and then what I'll do is I'll leave them on the sprue painted, and then I'll cut them off at the top and paint the top later after they're stuck down. Oh yeah. Okay, we got them all on, but some of them, the ones that I just painted on the sprue and then nipped them off, I just got to touch up the tops here. There was actually quite a few. Okay, and there's a couple there over on your side. There's one here, you probably can't see it for the splinter wall. And then there is one right away in here. Okay, this one I think I got. No, did I miss any? Some of them, the way the light is hitting them, they look like they're not painted, but they are. May as well do these ones here that I kind of got a little bit rough with. Okay, I'm pretty sure we got them all here, and if we don't, well, I can always, oh, some over here. There we go. Is there any others on this side that I missed? No, I think that's it. Okay. Now, I've made a lot of mistakes when I was putting this thing together, but one of the more serious ones I did in the last episode when I was gluing this piece down onto this piece. Yes, I had it wiggled back and forth so that I had it from side to side just right, but I didn't notice until after it was too late that I've got a gap here. And this, I'm looking at this now, I could, there is actually room up here where this could go ahead, you know, and it shows pretty bad right there, but it shows really bad on this other side here. Yeah, I feel kind of silly about that. I know I could probably put something in there and paint over it, some kind of filler or something, and yeah, that was very, very poor on my part. Okay, I believe step 33 is finished, and I have double checked and I circled all the little parts as I went along, and I'm pretty sure I got everything here. Now, something I did do, and I sort of tried to video it this afternoon, and it didn't work out the way I'd wanted. But if you remember this fiber optic stuff, okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show anything on camera. Maybe this one here, which is you probably can't see it from back where you are, but the blue jacket has skinned off about this much off the end, and just the glass rod is exposed. And at first I thought it was hollow, so I turned it and I looked at it, you know, from the top with my microscope, and I could see that it wasn't hollow. It does look like it's glass, or if it's not glass, then it's probably some very special kind of plastic that is extremely clear, but I do believe it's glass. And well, maybe I've got the super macro here, and I have a little bit of time this evening. Maybe I will try to show you the very end of it here. Just the you'll only be able to see the last 5 millimeters or something of it, but at least you'll be able to see where the jacket ends and the glass fiber starts. But I'm getting tired. I'm losing my train of thought here. Okay, I think before we actually do that, though, we should check and see what does step 34 look like. Oh, that's something different. That's going to be different. Photo etch ladders, more radar units out of photo etch. Yeah, that'll be something different. And then there's these cradles for the boats. That's what all these other holes are for, I guess. Where are they supposed to go? Yeah, that would be what these holes over here are for. Okay, let's set up and see if we can do something with this. Okay, this time I did move my monitor a little bit closer, and I can see it a little clearer. Why, that thing's sure dirty. Now try and get it so that it's parallel to the film plane, so that the whole length of it will be in focus at the same time. Now I moved in here with my super macro about as close as I can get. Now the depth of field on this lens is so shallow at f2.8 that even the width of that fiber optic can throw it out here. Now, so what I'm going to do now is stop it down. The blue is the jacket. Okay, so it should be about as sharp as we can get it. The tip of it doesn't look very sharp. It looks a little bit fuzzy. See if I can just move out just a little bit here. Well, maybe it's about as best as I'm going to be able to get it. Okay. F4, 5, 6, F8. Okay. Now, don't bump anything. I take my knife here and see if I can. I better put on my different eyes. Where are they? See if I can peel back that blue jacket. No, it doesn't want to peel back. Okay. I did not measure this, so I don't know what the diameter of that is. I suppose I could. I think my micrometer will go to, I think it's a thousandth of a millimeter or something, or 10,000ths of an inch. Well, maybe tomorrow. Anyway, that's it. What do you mean you can't see it? Okay, this little piece here off of the E-sprue, it was already loose in the bag, so we don't need to nip it off. And this is it right here. And off of the F-sprue, we need some F20s, and I thought they were mushroom vents. Well, I guess in a way they were. And a couple of hours ago when I was doing mushroom vents, I painted them black. Or not black, but the 56. So I hope they're going to look okay. I'm pretty sure they will. And if they don't, I guess I can always paint them, the 77 or something. Anyway, I think, though, that being as it's getting pretty late and my voice is starting to go, I think we're going to call it a day. So, all being well, we'll be seeing you in the morning. Well, it is morning, and we will continue on with step 34, hopefully. We are getting badly sidetracked here, but I was thinking about what I had said earlier about this piece of wire here being copper. And then I thought, well, if it's copper, I don't know if the metal detector would pick it up that easily. Maybe it's not copper. So I thought, well, I know that this is copper. I don't know what percentage of copper. I don't know if it's 100% copper. But a magnet will not stick to it. My you'll recognize this as our little 1/200 scale sailor that occasionally we place on the deck. Anyway, this is a fairly strong magnet. It's for picking up small parts that you drop on the floor, so that when you get old, you don't have to bend over to pick them up. Unfortunately, it won't pick up photo etch, or at least I don't think it'll pick up photo etch, but I know it won't pick up sprue. Anyway, watch this. So clearly, whatever, this is not copper, or not pure copper anyway. I just thought I'd clarify that. Okay, we've already got the E11 here. The next two biggest pieces would be L40 and L37. So it looks to me as though, okay, this is the L sprue, but for whatever reason, we sometime in the long ago past have nipped off L37 and 40. It could be that they were almost breaking off of the sprue, and I was afraid we were going to lose them, so I just removed them. But they're already removed and cleaned up. But clearly we have to put something in between. So we got to find pieces 27, two 27s, and they are on the F sprue. So I guess this can go back in the bag now. So a moment ago, I'm looking all over in my box where I keep my sprues, and I can't find the F sprue. Can't find it anywhere. Thinking, well, how could that be? And then I realized we've still got the F sprues here on the table. So I'll talk about anything, won't I? F27. Oh, I wonder why these are loose. I guess I must have nipped part of the sprue off before. Oh yeah. No, you'll recall that I'd said that I'd already painted these little mushroom vents. The paint is still sticky. Shouldn't be. Okay, I have nipped the sprue off of the end of them here. See if I can get it turned around so you can see it. And what I plan to do is, after I get them plugged into the part, then I will paint this the top here where the white is showing. Now I'm not going to even try to sand these off. Give you an idea of the size. This is the holder downer. I'm sure you recognize it. And some people might wonder, how did I make the holder downer? That used to be a sewing needle, and I cut the end off of it, and what's left is the fork part of it, and it works pretty good. Okay, enough poking. Alrighty, E1. And I think this is the last of the plastic pieces. Okay, pizza day, eh? Well, about 3 days ago, my neighbor was over, and we were talking about pizza and, trying to low calorie it and stuff like that, and he says, well, tell you what you do. You know that there's no or little calories in lettuce. Well, why don't you just put a piece of lettuce on top of your pizza, and then it'll have hardly any calories. And I thought that makes perfect sense. Yeah. Okay, all kidding aside here. I didn't even warm this one up. I'm going to put it back in the fridge. Might have it tomorrow. I don't think I'll put it back in the freezer. This is one of those 8 pieces that I made several weeks ago now. And it is so good. It's my double-decker pizza. It's got two layers of crust. It actually worked out pretty good. I'm wondering if I could do it with 3 layers. Maybe I'll try it sometime. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we're gonna have a low-calorie pizza sometime. You know what? I'm gonna call it quits for today's episode, though. Yeah. It's getting late here, and there's things that I gotta do to get ready to go over to the daughters for supper. And if I eat this as bad as I want it, and my mouth is watering right now, I just better not. I gotta spin it around once. Tennessee Jim gets a kick out of it when I spin the pizza. Okay, let's make this low calorie again. There we go. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.